Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day still. Obviously, we are late in the trading day. I just want to touch base and kind of just do something a little out of the ordinary and celebrate our successes. In other words, as a community, individually, who's doing what and what is happening here. Because I want to be able to, promote positivity and to celebrate those small wins that we have when we get them. Because again, depending on what kind of trader you are, the bear market can give you less opportunities. Of course, obviously depending on the direction you're choosing, right? And the type of trades you're taking. So again, different strokes for different folks, but the concept here is to help you kind of see what's going on in the back end there, because if you're not part of the community, you're obviously going to be missing out on that. And if you are part of the community, maybe I can brush you up to speed in a quick video, help you understand what people are doing if you're not part of the chat. All right, so again, if you are new to the channel, just know, love to teach people to trade. If you do consider want to becoming a community member, of course, CryptoCache.tech is a website, link in the description below. I also recommend partnering with Bitget, or essentially using the link that I'm partnered with through Bitget to qualify for a healthy amount of transfer funds. Okay, so again, something to consider. They're a phenomenal exchange, and a lot of our community members use them. So what we're going to start with first is the signals that I've sent out for the week, help you get perspective on roughly what's going on here, and generally kind of just give us perspective. All right, so again, today is the 26th, and this is starting on the 20th because, of course, there wasn't a trade on the 19th. Because you got to keep in mind, I like to send signals for trades that are going to hit their targets, right? That's why I keep a very high success rate. I'm not just constantly jumping in and jumping out because I have to. I trade because I find the right opportunities at the right time. And that's what you should definitely get in the habit of doing. So again, you're not going to see a signal every single day. But obviously during a bull market might be a different story, probably about 3 or 4 signals a day. But in a bear market, I feel you got to be selective based on my trading style. That being said, XRP was our first short that we had. We had a target of course 41 cents, and 39 is our profit target. We were able to hit those profit targets within 11 hours, 49% for 10x leverage, and of course we took 45% as well a little bit later. Okay, so again, we have trailing stop built in, so that way it automatically triggers. So that's what happened here. It closed after we reached profit target later that day. Okay, so in, out, automatic, everything's easy. That's the great thing about this. Cornix is just fully automated. You don't got to worry about it. Bitcoin, we took a 20x long. We subsequently hit our entry target, and then in 2 hours we hit 25%. So that's a really awesome little trade that we were able to take on the 22nd. Then of course on the 23rd we had a BNB and ETH trade. These are both two long cross leverage 10x, and we can see of course ETH we got filled, as well as the fact that we hit our entry targets. And furthermore, BNB was a second trade as well, also a long 10x. Roughly the same day, later in that day, 3 hours later, we took profit for Ethereum, 27%, and of course, for spot, 2.7%, again, not 10x. And then for BNB, we actually hit 3 profit targets here, 14%, 22, and then 31. Okay, so nice profitable Friday for all of us. And then of course, the BNB stopped out because of the fact that it had hit its second target. We have a trailing stop, target 2. Furthermore, we also had an Xrp trade. This was done last night, sent this out last night with a range of 48 cents, upwards of 52. We got filled at 48, and we hit our first target within approximately 1 hour for 30% profit. Okay, and then obviously within 6 hours, 42% profit, or 41.2, and then the trade closed itself out as a result of that. And keep in mind, these trades were taken somewhere in the range of 70 to 80% for target 1 and 2. So when it closes afterwards, you're always profitable no matter what, and the trailing stop loss moves up with it. Again, really cool stuff, all built into the automated trading system. So obviously check that out in your own time. But what I want to show you also here is some progress here. Right? And this is what's amazing to me, because my traders will come over with no experience or very little experience, and they'll be trying to get their feet wet. Well, first of all, Killer Whale, he was a whale. He would always use 71x leverage, and he'd take some decent profits. What I want to show you though here is Crypto Capo. He's like one of my youngest members. I think he's 18 years old, and he started with a very small amount, and he's worked his way up to do very well for himself. But the very first trade that he took was 7x through Bitget, of course, at 3.5%. That doesn't seem like a lot, of course, and it probably wasn't, but it got his feet wet and got him used to kind of taking a trade. And again, this was a XRP trade, or sorry, correction, Luna Classic Later he traded XRP. But yeah, that was just kind of a jump on in there. And here's what I want to kind of show you that's really awesome. Minus, of course, Zach. He's killing it as well. He's got some really good trades on KuCoin there with his Atom trades. He shorted Atom, and I think he longed it shortly after that. Look at that. Some nice profits there. But what I wanted to show you, of course, outside of how awesome that is, take a look at this here. CryptoCache, his very first short that he took, 21x, same time frame as the XRP trade that we've already looked at, and he was able to capitalize himself at 101%. Right now, I don't typically recommend 21x leverage for a newcomer, right? So please be cautious and careful. Always recommend using less and small position sizing. But you can definitely make some serious profits. And if you take a look at this here, this was, you take a look at this guy. Oh, of course, you've probably seen this before. This was the wonderful Fed meeting. That's exactly what happens and why you don't trade the Fed meetings. But if you take a look, of course, at some of these small positions that Zach was taking, 15% for Luna Classic, and then he maxes out 77% for a long. But what I want to celebrate here is XRP. Look at this. This is CryptoCache again, 143% a couple days later. And then, of course, he maxes out roughly about 227%. And he was more than, I don't know he's basically 15x'd his starting position, and he's done very well for himself. So, again, kudos and congratulations. Well done, CryptoCache. That's fantastic. And obviously there's another couple of phenomenal traders that we have too. Philly, he's actually somebody I've met in person, as a matter of fact. He's a really awesome dude. And he has done very well for himself on KuCoin, where he keeps hitting pretty strong profit targets. Now, again, you got to keep in mind, these are just the success stories. A lot of these folks have gone through the ringer to get here, right? You got to recognize you got to pay your dues in most cases. I've reset my account a handful of times in the past when I had less experience. Now, 17 years later, I'm absolutely being a little bit more cautious and careful. But generally speaking, this is essentially, just a way for us to be able to kind of celebrate and come together and all learn from each other, right? So really awesome stuff that I'm seeing from a lot of folks here. I mean, really awesome. Kudos and congratulations. Again, that's the whole point of this. I'm super proud of my community, and you guys have done some awesome things, guys and gals, of course. And I do appreciate your support and coming together and helping some of the newer traders too. Let's go ahead and wrap this up here with some of Alexandru's trades. This guy is probably the best that I've seen in quite some time, outside of obviously myself. Just kidding. I don't day trade any longer, but he does and he loves it. I don't care for the stress, but bottom line is he's doing some massive stuff here. Look at 50x, 120%, 51%. He pretty much just specifically trades Solana, and kind of steers clear of most other things, which is really awesome. And it's very smart too, because to be a good trader, at first, you want to kind of pay attention to a specific chart and understand how it works. If you're jumping around from different trades and different styles, say you're day trading one day and you're swing trading the next, that's a recipe for disaster. If you are effectively jumping in and out of any coin that you feel and you see fit, that's also a problem too, because you need to understand the charts. See, I can trade a lot of different coins because I look at this every single day, and this is my day job. But somebody that's kind of a little more casual, you might want to be careful and cautious with that. Look at here, Zach, for another chain link, 71%. This was just yesterday. Furthermore, look at that, came up to 133%, and it doesn't show the leverage, but obviously that's a pretty decent amount of leverage there. So he's getting just kind of used to it, right? You start working your way up, you start getting more comfortable, and there's definitely some things that you can do that are really awesome. But as you can see, just some really good stuff here. Again, more Solana trades. Good old Philly back with another 42%. And it just keeps going and going, right? These are all the things that we talk about and we learn and we all grow together. That's the whole point of the community. So if you want to be part of that and perhaps you might find benefit of something of that sort, I highly recommend, considering a subscription, of course. It's the best return on investment majority of my members will find. Worst case scenario, you learn something from my trading university. Best case scenario, you actually become a member and continue to evolve as a trader and to essentially start sharing in these success trades. The successful stories is really awesome. Very last thing to wrap this up with, of course, again, is to just highly recommend using Bitget. I know I talked about this earlier, but they have such a darn good format, and their application is super user-friendly. I no longer use Bybit or KuCoin. I just think that it's tremendously better, and why not benefit from some bonus USDT when you register? Awesome no-brainer. So anyways, regardless of that fact, keep up the great work. I'm super proud of everyone. Thank you so much for just being an awesome part of my life. And we will look forward to wrapping this up here with you next week once more. I'll try to make this a weekly thing to ensure that we can kind of, again, celebrate the success. That's the whole point of trading, is to make sure that we focus on the positive and to highlight that. All right. So again, keep up the great work. I'm super proud of you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.